Trying to find my rags so I can get started doing dishes while I'm talking. That's a challenge. I wanted to ask you a question. Have you ever felt inadequate in your life? Like you just got to, how would I put this? You feel like you just don't measure up, you know? You get up and you strive to achieve, certain goals, expectations from other people, whether it's on your job, in your family, and then you beat yourself up over your head. You beat yourself up because you just feel like that you failed. The problem is our mindset. We've got to remember that no one's perfect. It doesn't matter how hard you try, you're never going to meet the expectations of others all the time. You've got to learn to take your failures not as a defeat, but as a stepping stone to do better next time, if that's what you feel like you need to do. But too many people's going through life right now that they're setting too high expectations for themselves. Others are doing the same. And we've got to kind of step back once in a while and think about things. Let's reason this out. When you go to your job, how does people define you? Do they define you by your achievements? Their goals they set for you? It shouldn't be that way. Your self-worth is not determined by what other people's goals are for your life. If I can't measure up to someone else's expectation of me, that does not determine my self-worth. It doesn't make me any less of a person. From the time we was, growing up, we was fed the lie. You've got to do this and you've got to do that. You've got to have the best grades. You've got to have the best clothes. You've got to just be the best at everything. That's not the truth. There's no one any better than anyone else. There's no one that's any less of a human being because of your financial stability, your health, your looks. The way to look at it is there's always going to be somebody that's got more than you or less than you. And if we spend our time weighing ourselves, comparing ourselves to everyone else around us, we're always going to be down. Because there's always going to be somebody that's got more than you got. They went and did more than you've accomplished. You've got to stop comparing yourself with others and make yourself happy with your own achievements and goals. But we cannot set the goals and expectations too high. Set little goals, little expectations for your life, and figure out what you want to achieve. Take baby steps. And when you achieve those baby steps, then move on to something better. A lot of people, they go and they try too hard and drive too hard to get to a certain point, and then when they don't reach that goal in their time frame, they just quit because they give up. They've not met their own expectations. Well, we need to change all that. And if you haven't had a chance to watch my other video, The Power of No, I would recommend it to you. Go watch it because that'll help you change things in your life. Now, some of the things I want you to start to think about that will help you is this. I'm going to give you a couple points that will lead you in the right direction. First of all, Like I said, let's set goals that's meetable in our life and go for that. Meet those needs, set some more, and watch yourself accomplish things. The second thing, quit saying to yourself, I earned this or I earned that. And think of it like this: I deserve it. You deserve to get things for yourself. You deserve to reward yourself. You don't have to earn nothing. Our self-worth is not based on earning. Our self-worth is based on us being us, not on our accomplishments or goals. The third thing we want to think about is the fact that it doesn't matter who asks you to do anything. That's where the power of no comes in. We've got to, when we don't want to do something, we need to learn the word no. Because if it goes against your self-worth and what you feel, there's nothing wrong with saying no. There's nothing wrong with drawing a line in the sand and telling people, hey, or just thinking this to yourself, I'm worth more than that. I don't have to do that. My self-worth is more important to me than bowing down and doing something against my belief, doing something against my health, or just wearing me out. Sometimes you just got to say no. There's nothing wrong with that. And if that's the only reason somebody loves you or wants you around and cares about you, then you're better off by yourself. You have to take care of you. Not that we shouldn't love people and take care of people, but you've got to come to the realization that your life's important, just as important as anybody else, and stand your ground. Something I encourage you to do that will help you is go stand in front of a mirror someplace and look at yourself and begin to talk to yourself about you are worthy, you are acceptable, you're whatever you want yourself to be. If you feel unloved, you say I'm loved. If you feel like you're unappreciated, say I am appreciated. Begin to talk to yourself like you would encourage a friend. Encourage yourself that same way. And begin to practice your self-worth. And things will begin to change for the good for you. And never let no one talk down to you. You're not a failure. You are in a process of change. We are from point A to point B. There's going to be days that we have good days, and there's going to be days that things don't go quite like we wanted. But it's all going to work out for you. Don't believe the lie no more that you're not worthy, because you are. And if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe, head over to watch the other video I was telling you about, the power of no, and I'll catch you on the next one. Talk at you later.